Start speaking now.
Hey Ryan, I completely understand why you want a promotion, but I honestly think you need to change the way you're approaching your career. Wanting career growth without developing new skills is going to make it very difficult for you to stand out from other employees. Nowadays, companies expect professionals to keep learning and adapting, especially because technology and workplace expectations are changing so quickly. First of all, you should start taking advantage of opportunities that can improve your abilities. For example, you could attend workshops, complete online certifications, or volunteer for challenging projects at work. Even if these tasks seem difficult at first, they will help you gain confidence and show your managers that you are motivated and dependable. In addition, you should ask for feedback from supervisors instead of avoiding criticism. Constructive feedback can actually help you identify weaknesses and improve faster. At the same time, there are a few things you should avoid doing. Don't become too comfortable in your current position or assume that experience alone will guarantee a promotion. Also, don't reject learning opportunities simply because they require extra effort or time. Employers usually promote people who show initiative, flexibility, and a willingness to grow professionally.
Start speaking now.
One time I had to change my plans unexpectedly was during a weekend trip that my friends and I had organized several weeks in advance. We were planning to visit a hill station nearby and spend 2 days hiking, sightseeing, and relaxing. Everyone was excited because we had already booked a hotel and prepared a full itinerary. However, just 1 day before the trip, the weather forecast suddenly predicted heavy rainfall and possible landslides in that area. At first, we were really disappointed because we had been looking forward to the trip for a long time. Instead of canceling everything completely, we quickly decided to change our destination and visit a nearby city instead. We spent the weekend exploring museums, trying different restaurants, and watching a live music performance in the evening. Honestly, the trip turned out much better than I expected. Even though it was different from our original plan, we still had a great time together. That experience taught me that being flexible is important, because unexpected changes can sometimes lead to equally enjoyable experiences.
Start speaking now.
It looks like a busy ferry terminal, where many passengers are waiting for a ferry to Harbor Island. Right in the middle of the terminal, there's a large electronic sign saying that the ferry has been delayed by about 45 minutes. Because of the delay, a lot of people seem tired, frustrated, or bored while waiting. In the center of the picture, I can see a businessman checking his watch impatiently, and beside him, a woman appears to be talking on the phone, possibly informing someone about the delay. On the right side, there's a ferry employee helping travelers at the information counter. A few tourists carrying large backpacks are asking for directions while holding a map. There are also many people sitting and waiting quietly. Some are reading books or newspapers, while others are simply relaxing with their luggage beside them. Near the front, a small boy is sitting on the floor playing with a toy boat, which is quite cute. Through the large windows, you can even see the ferry floating on the water in the distance.
Start speaking now.
I think the ferry company will eventually resolve the delay and begin boarding passengers within the next hour. Right now, many people seem calm, but if the delay becomes longer, some travelers may start feeling frustrated or impatient. For example, The businessman in the center who is checking his watch will probably become stressed because he may have an important meeting or appointment to attend after reaching Harbor Island. I also think the ferry staff will continue answering questions and making announcements to keep passengers informed. The tourists with backpacks near the counter will most likely ask for updated schedules or directions once boarding starts. Meanwhile, the families and children waiting in the seating area will probably try to relax by reading, eating snacks, or talking to each other while they wait. Outside the window, the ferry already appears to be approaching the dock, so I believe boarding will begin fairly soon.
Start speaking now.
Hey Chris, I understand why you like the idea of not having a fixed budget, because it gives you freedom and flexibility. But I really believe having a monthly budget is a much better option in the long run. First of all, a monthly budget gives you better financial control. You know exactly how much you are earning, spending, and saving, which helps you make smarter financial decisions. Secondly, budgeting helps you build a strong savings habit. When you plan your expenses in advance, you are more likely to save money for important goals like travel, education, or emergencies. This also reduces financial stress because you don't have to worry about running out of money at the end of the month. Overall, even though not having a budget feels more flexible, having a monthly budget gives you more control, better savings, and long-term financial stability.
Start speaking now.
Hi, sweetheart. I wanted to talk to you about something that has been worrying me lately. I've noticed that you've been avoiding our family dinners and choosing to stay in your room instead. I completely understand that everyone sometimes needs personal space, and I don't want you to feel pressured or uncomfortable. However, family dinners are very important to me because they give us a chance to spend time together, communicate, and stay connected despite our busy schedules. I'm concerned because this change in behavior feels unusual, and I want to make sure everything is okay. If something has been bothering you, whether it's stress from school, personal problems, or even something happening within the family, I hope you know that you can talk to me openly. I'm not trying to criticize or force you to do anything. I simply want to understand how you're feeling and support you in any way I can. Maybe we can find a compromise together, like having dinner as a family a few times a week instead of every single day.
Start speaking now.
I don't think people should completely avoid using credit cards to prevent debt, but I do believe they need to use them very responsibly. Credit cards themselves are not the problem. The real issue is overspending without a clear repayment plan. When used wisely, credit cards can actually be helpful tools. For example, they allow people to manage emergencies, earn rewards, and build a good credit history, which is important for renting an apartment or getting a loan in the future. If someone pays the full balance on time every month, they can enjoy these benefits without paying interest or falling into debt. However, I also understand why some people prefer to avoid credit cards. High interest rates and easy access to credit can lead to impulsive spending, especially for those who struggle with budgeting. In such cases, using cash or debit cards may help control expenses better. Overall, instead of avoiding credit cards completely, people should focus on financial education, setting spending limits, and paying balances on time. Used carefully, credit cards can be a useful financial tool rather than a source of debt.
Start speaking now.
Hey Emma, you would not believe what I saw at the park yesterday. A family was having a picnic when a large delivery drone suddenly flew down carrying a pizza box. It honestly looked like something from the future. The drone was hovering above the family very carefully while lowering the pizza toward them with a cable. The father was reaching up to receive the pizza, and the two children looked extremely excited and surprised by what was happening. What made the scene even more unusual was that there was actually a designated drone delivery area sign beside the picnic spot, which means this type of service is probably becoming more common. Around the park, other people seemed curious and distracted by the drone while continuing their activities like walking, sitting, and relaxing near the playground. The situation really caught my attention because I had never seen food delivered by a flying drone in a public park before. It made the entire place feel modern and futuristic, almost like a scene from a movie.